welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Sharon, aka the Melanin Nostalgic Runner, and let me get the lighting better. Better. A little bit. Still a little glossy. Too much reflection. I'm trying to fix it. I think this is probably about as good as we're going to get today. Maybe I need stands or a spot. Okay, this looks all right. Yeah, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Sharon, aka the Melanin Nostalgic Runner, and today we're doing a Get Fit With Me series, but it's not yoga edition. I haven't done one of these for a while, and hopefully I have improved since the last time I tried to do this. This is going to be Get Fit With Me series meal prep edition. I'm still not sure how many more times I'm going to continue to do this, because this is one of those reviews that I do or things I do that doesn't get that many views, but I do want to continue doing it because I love to cook. I love to plan ahead when it comes to meals, and it's what keeps me healthy for the most part. Those who have followed me long enough, for those who know me, I haven't been running as much as I normally have been in the past years. Like, I started running back in 2009. It's been that long. Yeah, I've been running for a long time, and this is probably one of the first years where I'm doing it, but I'm not really into it all the way. I have races I'm planning for, and I'm kind of halfway doing the training, halfway not. Like, I'm doing enough where I'm not going to have any issues when it comes to race day, but that's about as far as I'm going with it. And I am trying to make a switch and make that happen, but one of the many things I've been trying to do throughout the years, I would say last 4 or 5 years, is work on the diet, switch the diet up, change it up, because anyone who is aware of health and wellness, it's not just the exercise, it's also the diet. And as people get older, because unfortunately Father Time is all kinds of undefeated, you have to switch up the diet in order to maintain weight. And for the most part, I've been able to stay within my zone where I've never gained all my weight back. Like, basically, I made a pledge to myself when I first became a runner. When I lost all my weight, I was never going to get it back. I've gotten close to the higher point of the weight, but I've never went all the way back. Like, there's a point where I hit a certain mark, and then I'm like, and I, make adjustments and get back to the weight that I want to be at. And right now, I am up probably about, full transparency, and whatever it is, what it is, because my body's still buying, and I think I look good, so it's fine. But for me, I would say I want to lose about 20 pounds for me to, for the running to feel more comfortable. Not necessarily for clothes, because the clothes and everything be sitting right for me, and I can make it work. But for running, it's a lot more comfortable when I'm for obvious reasons, for 20 pounds, if I'm lighter, because, it's a lot of pounding on the body. So anyway, that's how the meal prepping thing even started. And it has worked. The scale still is kind of scaling here and there, but as far as how my clothes fit, which for me is what matters more, it's better. So I'm definitely gaining more muscle and losing the fat, and it's not as flub. So anyway, that's actually kind of why I started this. I just kind of wanted to share that before I go on with this. But the things we're going to meal prep today is we're going to meal prep a couple things. I'm probably going to have this in multiple parts. That way I can spread the content out, because we know I'm not posting as much as I normally have been in the past. But we're going to do a breakfast tacos. And the breakfast tacos are meant to be, I believe, 4 portions. So that's going to be good. But I'm making them for the week. So this is still the weekend for me. But I'm making it for when it's going to be Monday through Thursday, and then Friday I'll probably do something else, which is pretty standard for me. And then the other thing that so that's probably going to be part 1 of the video. And that's going to be pretty easy and quick. So part 2 of this video, we're going to be making pasta. And one of the things I like to do, and this is something that you can do too, if you're someone who does do meal prepping and things like that, you have a lot of leftover ingredients for doing meal prepping, like I do, You can find something that's easy to make, like pasta, for example, and just mix the leftover things all together so that you're not wasting ingredients that you probably wouldn't use otherwise. Because throughout me starting to meal prep, because I started meal prepping, I would say back in, I want to say January. It was either December or January-ish, I started meal prepping. And because I started doing that, I have a lot of pantry items and like a lot of random vegetables that I really wouldn't eat it by themselves type thing. But if they're mixed in like a smorgasbord of some sort, that would handle it. So yeah, hence the pasta. We're just going to do that so that we can eliminate some of these. So some of these items, like for example, I brought this for a dish, and this is like marinated artichokes. I don't have any other reason I'm going to use these. I don't know what other. For me, I don't. This is not something I cook with. This isn't my go-to. So why not put it in some pasta? So yeah, that's going to be another video. And then the third video, we're going to have 4 videos total with this. The third video is going to be, hold on. I'm looking at my meal prep book. I actually have a recipe book I use, but I kind of loosely use it. Steak tips with wilted arugula, goat cheese, and pear salad. So it actually says spinach salad, but those who know me, I don't like to buy spinach because it doesn't keep long. It does not last long in the fridge. And I'm someone, when I buy my ingredients for meal prepping, I'm buying them all like the week, like Friday. That's like my usually go-to grocery shopping day. I like to get everything out before the weekend, but I like to also go while there's all the supplies are still there, because the Friday is usually when the grocery stores have a lot of stuff, because they're expecting such a high volume of customers coming in on the weekend. But I go like Friday during the day, while things are fully stocked, so I can get everything I need. But anyway, I'm doing arugula instead because baby spinach does not keep very long, and yeah. And then also too, the steak tip piece, it's not gonna be steak. It's gonna be the vegan variety, because my diet is complicated these days. Let me just be fully transparent. I have been pescatarian for a very long time, since like late 2018, and this is the first year I'm just kind of like not doing it really, but I'm still pretending I am, pretty much. So I'm not buying meat at home, but if I go out to eat and there's meat in a dish, I'm not going to send it back. I'm still just going to eat it. Or if I really feel like I want some meat, I'm going to eat it. That has been kind of my new mantra. I'm just not going all in on it anymore. Because I did most of it. I never did it for like ethical reasons, and I never really did it for weight loss reasons, to be completely honest. I did it more or less for health reasons, because, certain type of cancers are in my family, and I wanted to do preventative work to make sure I didn't have any issues when I get older. So I'm still being mindful, still eating consciously, eating with an intention. So I figured as long as I'm doing that and continue being very, disciplined about my diet, it should be an issue. So anyway, that's why it's not actually meat. And then the fourth thing that we're going to be making today is going to be a hearty grain and vegetable bowl with goat cheese. And this is one thing I like about the meal prepping. I don't usually buy goat cheese, but this is an example of multiple ingredients getting mixed together. Like when you buy things for meal prepping, at least the book I have, a lot of those ingredients are used in multiple recipes, so you're not wasting it. But you still will have some cases where you have some residuals, like I do. But anyway, that's pretty much going to be the different meals that we're going to do, but we're going to start off with part one. I'm not going to be doing much talking here. We're just going to get to it, and we'll see you in a little bit. All right, so for the breakfast tacos, we're going to start off with, since I'm not eating any of this today, I'm basically going to make it where I have it ready to go for like the meal prep containers. So let me go ahead and get those real quick. So that's what these are. These are my meal prep containers, and I love them because they're divided up. And the beauty with the breakfast taco dish that I'm doing, I don't have to put everything together. I can have it where it's already separated, and then when I'm ready to have it in the morning, I could just make the tacos that time so they're fresh, if you will. So one of the things we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to go ahead and get our tortillas done. Because apologies. Anyway, so we are going to start off where we first wash the hands. You know how important that is. Okay. And then we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna toast all the tortillas, and it calls for 8 total. I'm gonna bring you closer now because I can, because I'm not gonna get distracted. Don't mind all the stuff on the side here. As I mentioned in the video before, as I mentioned in the intro, this is multiple part video, so we're gonna have that. But anyway, I want to get this part done out the way because it's going to be the easiest thing to do. And I kind of wish I would have done these breakfast tacos forever ago, because it really isn't that complicated. It's a pretty easy dish. Oh, if you're wondering, I counted ahead of time, and I know I have exactly 8 tortillas in here, and it calls for 8 total. So while that's going, I'm going to go ahead and grab another pan. So don't mind me. Calls for us to do a dish where you can do either the tortillas, well, not the tortillas, my apologies. You can either do the egg mixture ahead of time or do the sausage ahead of time. I'm going to opt to do the sausage ahead of time just because that's going to be a lot more of an effort. And again, this is a fairly easy recipe. And again, for those who know, I think I mentioned in the intro, I do not do regular meat. So we're gonna be doing the Beyond sausage. And I'm actually doing Italian instead of doing breakfast sausage. I kind of wanna jazz up the breakfast a little bit, if that makes any sense. So we're gonna just go ahead and get this together. And it comes in the link, so I'm gonna just need to, divide it up, which will be pretty easy since this is serving 4 portions. This is a perfect amount when it comes to portion size, and it's exactly a pound because it calls for a pound of sausage. The recipe itself does. The recipe I'm using is from, I'll have to name the site. Let me wash my hands again. For those who've never tried a Beyond Meat or a meat substitute, it does have similar texture as regular meat, so it's pretty similar. And I'm gonna have to flip this over. I might need to use tongs for this, actually. Yeah. I'm probably gonna end up grabbing tongs for this other one here, and I forgot to turn this on. All right, there we go. I just kind of wanted to get this going. I'm gonna probably add some seasoning, extra seasoning to this because it doesn't call for it. It calls for it in the eggs, but not really in the meat, which, yeah. So while I'm doing this, I'm gonna put this on the side here for the eggs. But I just wanted to get the tortilla part done first because it's the easiest thing to do. And it takes the least amount of time. So then while I'm letting the meat do what it do, the seasonings I'm going to use, because I'm going to use 2 different seasonings, and they're kind of high-key my favorite seasonings I kind of use on everything lately. I got this from Trader Joe's. I love this stuff. It has, it's spicy, garlicky with deep aroma and savory flavor, which is great for breakfast for me because I like savory breakfasts. So it has like crushed chili peppers, coriander, and like garlic, salt, and marigold. So perfect. And also it's like this pretty red color. And I love when my food has color. And then the other thing I'm using, I actually, my dad discovered this years and years ago. This is actually a Maine-based company, and they make these seasonings. And it's like maple sugar, salt, garlic, sea salt, garlic, pepper, and citric acid. I love this stuff. It's like my favorite, so it's totally a thing. And this is cooking a lot quicker than I wanted to, but that's okay. So yeah, I just wanted to get the seasonings for this together. And I think now I'm gonna go on mute and you guys will see what I'm doing next, okay? All right, so I actually turned off the sausage because it's actually already cooked. And then I'm almost finishing up with the tortillas. I have like just 2 more, well, 1.5 more to go. And with the sausage, since the sausage is done, what we would do next and what we want to do next is, because even though this is still like a meat substitute, as you can see here, there's still some, grease. So we're going to drain it because we don't want that in the actual container. But before we do that, let me skip this out here real quick. And then this is the last one. And then we could use one of these pans. We actually have options of which pans we will use for like the eggs. And then we also do need to saute bell pepper, green bell pepper, and then also we're sauteing red onions too. I did not do red onions. I'm actually going to do a shallot instead because I prefer shallots over red onions. That's just me. You can use the red onion that calls for in the recipe if you want. And also, I should probably share, I'm going to turn this off because this is going to cook on its own. Yes, I'm out of the frame briefly, but I do want to state that this recipe is from Sweet Peas and Savron. So it's just a website recipe. I got it for meal prepping. So it says breakfast tacos meal prep in parentheses, and 15-minute prep time, 15-minute cook time, total amount of minutes, 30 minutes. We're not going to really prep. Well, we're prepping, but we're not really going to, prep all the way as far as follow through all the way to the end where we, use the, we're not going to build a taco. That's, I guess, what I'm trying to say. So it's not going to take the 30 minutes for me because we're not doing the building the taco piece of it. Okay. So we have this out of the way. I am going to move this temporarily because I want to move this over here. Space to do the things I want to do as far as making sure this looks a lot more presentable on camera. But for now, improvising and kind of practicing perfection, I guess. I want to try and make sure I get all the bits, got most of them. So this is and I don't know what anyone else does, but what I like to do personally is I like to put them back in the container before I throw all the ones away because I don't want to have to try to count. It's kind of my way for when it's large recipes with a lot of, eggs. It's kind of my cheat that I do. It also helps me keep track of when it's time for me to buy more eggs when I go to the grocery store. So next time I go to the store, definitely gonna need to buy more eggs. I go through a lot of eggs. 8 eggs every day. All right. Easy peasy. All right, and then I'm just gonna then go ahead and then get them out of this thing and put them in my trash container. And then that's all she wrote for that. Your girl does not love just basic salt and pepper. I'm going to use the stuff I just used. But I'm also going to add a little something to it. I'm going to use this stuff also. Chili lime peppers seasoning. So this has a little bit more heat than the other thing I just got done using. Yeah. But we still get that red color. I didn't want to use a lot because I don't want it to be too many different contradiction of flavors. So yeah. And then it also calls for 1/4 of a cup of milk. And for those of you guys who don't know, and you're probably getting sick of me with all these diet restrictions, but yes, I actually am lactose intolerant, and most adults are. But I don't ignore my lactose intolerance. So I use almond milk. So this is almond milk. And we're just gonna go ahead and put that in here. And then we're gonna beat it. So pretty simple, easy peasy, right? So I'm gonna go ahead and grab a whisk. I don't think I need a huge one. I'm just gonna use this one. But yeah, we're just gonna cook the eggs next. And then after that, then we just have to prep this bell pepper that's here and then the onion that's here. And that's that on that. It's a pretty easy recipe. As I mentioned, pretty easy. And I probably don't even have to add that much oil because I did it because the recipe has it in the order where you do the eggs first and then the sausage. But to me, that doesn't make sense because sausage takes longer to cook than eggs do. Warm up a little bit. And then I'm also gonna go ahead and put this in here because it already was kind of warmed up already. And then we're gonna just scramble it. That's pretty much gonna be it for the egg piece once we scramble the eggs. And while I'm doing this, I wanna go ahead and start doing this fun deal. Oh yeah, it's scrambling. It's just a nice slow burn on the scrambling. I don't have it up very high. I didn't want it up very high. I actually turned it down. It calls for you to do medium, and because I don't want my eggs to be rubbery and there really is no rush. I have it on a medium, almost a medium low for me. Now, I would say if you're using an electric stove, which I think a lot of recipes in today's times are thinking you're using an electric stove, the medium heat still works. But since I truly still have a gas stove and my oven and gas stove are team too much, I almost always have to alter what the recipe says I'm supposed to be doing. And I already made a little bit of a mess. I got some of the egg mixture out of the pan. And also too, one thing that is nice about when you're meal prepping, and it's a dish that you're not actually planning on eating right away, don't overcook it. If anything, slightly undercook it, because you're going to be warming it up in the microwave anyway, and you don't want your eggs to be all rubbery. So my eggs are pretty much already done. See? Done. Dunzos. A little bit on the runny side, and some people that might bother them. For me, that's actually how I like my eggs. I can just do our little prepping. Because then I also need to do this onion too. And then once I do that, then I'm just going to put all this pretty much in my meal prep container, and that's done. One recipe done. And that's what I'll be eating Monday through Thursday of this week. And when I tell you, when I have stuff meal prepped ahead of time for the breakfast, especially since I work during the week, oh my gosh, it's such a time savings. I don't feel as rushed. It's wonderful. So this is the shallot I'm using. Because I prefer shallots over the red onions. It calls for, actually, let me give you the amount. It actually calls for a half of a red onion. But since the shallot is a lot smaller, I'm just going to use this whole shallot and call it good, because it's like the same thing. And then you just chop it small too. And this is going to be also part of, of course, the construction of the taco if you decide you're going to do that. And vegetables do not take long to saute. It takes usually about it says 5 to 7 minutes in the recipe book, but it really takes less time than that. Usually, to me, I think it takes 3 to 5 minutes. And this is our vegetables right here. And we're just gonna basically trying to break these down a little bit. And we want this to be a nice I don't want to caramelize it, but I want it to be definitely more sauteed versus how it's looking right now. Because right now it looks raw, right? So while that is working and we see our eggs look good, I already showed you that, we're going to now do the construction part of the taco. Sorry. First, kind of try to divide this up kind of in 4. I'm not doing a good job of it, but I just kind of want to have it where I have 4, the portions together. So to me, this is one portion. This is another portion. It's really actually 2 tacos, right? This is going to be another portion. Let's do that. And then let me grab the last one here. All right, that's those portions, right? I'll clean the pan a little bit. And then the next thing that we're going to make sure portion-wise is working. Let me, in the meantime, stir this up, make sure I'm not burning anything. Oh yes, it's starting to caramelize. So then this next portion here. And I'm thinking I'm actually going to put this in here. I know this seems kind of weird. I don't want to get rid of stuff. I'm going to put the meat in this container. Because I think that's a good size portion. Because that kind of is equivalent to, I don't know. We'll see if that's good enough or not. Because I'm going to do that for all of it. All right. And I already did turn off my veggies because those are done. See, when I tell you this is a kind of a really easy recipe to do, it's super easy. Okay, and I think I was right. When it comes to the portions are the portion. So then I could just do this last one here, which is also, you saw, there was a method to my madness of why I wanted to like cook things right away and then wait for things to cool off. And then that way I could just like take my time and not, because also too, you got, make things work when you have limited counter space. I don't have as much counter space as I would like. I'm actually gonna move this back out the way and I'm gonna use the tongs again because it's gonna be easier to grab the veggies with the tongs. And I'm gonna try to even it up. So I put the veggies in this cubby, which is why I love these meal prep containers, because it's just so easy to manage this stuff and get even portions for the most part. And then, see what I mean? This is gonna be one of my portions. And then I can just put this in the container and that's it. That's one of my portions. And I have the tortilla back in there. And then I'm just gonna do that for these other ones too. It's so dope. See? And look at that. we are done. So that concludes the Get Fit With Me series, meal prep edition for the breakfast tacos. And I have Monday through Thursday prepped and ready to go so that when I get to work, it's just gonna be easy peasy, and all I gotta do is just put the meats and all that in the microwave, and then add because it does call for at the very end to add your cheeses that you want. I have some vegan cheese in the fridge. I'm gonna add salsa if you want to add some salsa. I'm personally more of a pico girl, so I have pico in the fridge for that. And then I'm gonna add a little bit of guacamole because I'm a sucker for avocado in the morning. So anyway, but that concludes the video. Please like, comment, and subscribe to the channel if you get anything out of the content. It's your girl Sharon, aka the Melanin Nostalgic Runner, and I will see you next time. Bye.